Peace and blessings, everyone. It is I, Coach Ed, here with a new show, the Full Court Press, where we're coming to you talking about the WNBA. Now, right now, I'm going to be starting off solo. Next shift, Randy, unfortunately, is not going to be here today, and I'm just waiting for Nick to jump in. He'll be here whenever he can. But I'm going to go ahead and get the show started off. And I thank everyone for being here with us, being a part of this new venture, this new journey. I'm truly excited for this venture and what we have to bring. We all three of us have a passion for basketball, the WNBA, and what is coming forth from being a part of the WNBA and what we are hoping to present to you. So we hope that you guys really appreciate what we have in store. And basically, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking all facets of the WNBA. You know, scores, standings, power rankings, everything. We're going to go through the stats, any news that's been going on within the WNBA. We're definitely going to go ahead and get you our perspectives in reference to what's happening in the W. So we hope that you guys appreciate it and enjoy everything that we are bringing to the table. Make sure that you guys tap into the chat. We're always going to stay in contact with you guys. When you guys have questions, we're going to go ahead and answer them as we go. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Coach Ed Gladney. I've been following the WNBA since its inception. I am a New York Liberty fan, have been following the Liberty since Rebecca Lobo jumped up with Lisa Leslie back in 1997. So, but I've been following the league ever since, and I have really grown to appreciate the WNBA, the women's game. It's something that I just truly love, and those of you who know me know how passionately I speak about the WNBA. I've covered games with watch-alongs, and I'm going to continue to bring you my perspective on what I see in terms of the WNBA. So, but before I dive into the heart of the program, let me just jump into the chat. To my brother NYG, thanks for tapping in. That's right, everyone. Make sure that you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network, Coach Ed Gladney, Next Shift Randy, and Sleeper Sports Media. Make sure you subscribe to us. Hit the notification button so that way you guys know when we post new content. And make sure you share on all social media platforms. Nimmer, what's up, man? Thanks for tapping in. One of my day ones, has always been a great supporter. Daniel Berry, thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you. Cool. There you go. Go Wings. He's a big Dallas Wings fan. I know that. So, El Capitan Rafael El Fucho. What's up, Raph? Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you. Nick, man, thanks for being here. Things are going good, man. I'm really excited about this new show, man. Thanks for tapping in, man. Arike, yes, she's definitely a baller, man. I definitely appreciate her game. Her and Sabali, Satu Sabali. I definitely love what they have to bring, especially with it their tall center. I forgot Brown's daughter. I forgot her name right now. Sorry, guys. But you'll let me know in the chat. Our NYG saying what's up to everyone. That's right. Go Liberty. That's right. And subscribe to Philly Halftime. Yes, that'll be on my other show with Philly Halftime. But thanks, Nick, for highlighting that for me. So now the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and talk about, we're going to go ahead and review. I'm going to go ahead and review the scores from last week. I'm actually going to start from Saturday's day. So this past weekend, because there's a reason why I'm saying that. Saturday, you had Indiana hosting the Chicago Sky, and Indiana came away victorious 71-70. On Sunday, Indiana then traveled to New York, and they lost to the Liberty 104-68. Connecticut Ended up traveling to Atlanta. They won 69-50. The Los Angeles Sparks traveled to the Phoenix Mercury. They lost 87-68. And the Minnesota Lynx hosted the Dallas Wings, and Minnesota won 87-76. There were no games on Monday. On Tuesday, you had the Liberty travel to play Chicago in a revenge match, and New York came away with the win, 88-75. Connecticut hosted Washington. Connecticut defeated Washington 76-59. And in the late match, Seattle hosted Phoenix, and Seattle won 80-62. On Wednesday, you had Las Vegas travel to Dallas, and Las Vegas defeated Dallas 95-81. And Minnesota traveled to the Sparks, and they defeated the Sparks 86-60. 86-62. Now in the games today, you have Chicago travel to Washington. Right now, Washington is leading Chicago 29-21. If you're looking to catch that game, that's actually on Amazon. And the Liberty are down in Atlanta, and they're taking on the Dream. And right now, I actually have it on right now. Atlanta is at the free throw line with one more free throw, and they are up 4-2 because the game just started. And we have Archie, who has been your favorite rookie to watch so far. We're going to get into all that. So I really love a lot of the rookies. So, but I'm going to dive into that in a little bit. That's part of the show. So, but thanks for asking that question, Andre. I really appreciate that. So, NYG, yeah, yes, I did. 104-68. They put the beat down on them. So, the Liberty ain't no joke. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the strengths and the weaknesses of the team. Okay, I'll definitely get into that. So, the schedule from last week that we had. Next thing we're going to look into is the standings in terms of the WNBA. So, and right now, in terms of the overall standing, you have the Connecticut Sun. They're playing phenomenally right now. They're actually undefeated at 9-0, man. So they have had some tough matches, but they continue to persevere and fight through. Dewana Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, they're that dynamic duo. They do a great job. You have the Liberty, who are at 8-2, the Lynx, who are at 7-2, the Aces are at 5-2, the Seattle Storm are at 6-3, the Dream are at 4-3, the Mercury at 4-6, the Sky, who are at 3-5, the Wings, who are at 3-5, the Sparks, who are at 2-7, the Fever at 2-9, and the Mystics are at 0-9. So that's the standings right now with all the teams in terms of their records. It's, as you see in terms of the top part of the league, the Suns, they continue right now early out to jump out. I think the biggest undefeated record to start the season, I believe, was 13-0. I think it was two teams. I think Houston and the Sparks, if I'm not mistaken. But I just briefly saw that. So I'll get more info on that later. But yeah, they're doing a great job. They're hungry. They're determined. They play great team basketball over there. Like I said, I talked about Dewana Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, Dejanay Carrington. Go check her out, man. That girl can play some great defense, man. She's phenomenal. She's quick, has great hands. There was one play where she did pick Caitlin Clark's pocket and was off to the races. So she's definitely a player, a young player who's going to be developing. So, but again, they're a team that's definitely going to be to reckon with. You talked about the Liberty. The Liberty, right now, they're number 2 in the league in terms of the winning percentage. They're good with the three. Right now, they're one of the things that I have a question or concern with them is their bench. But if you look at their starting five, where you talk about Jonquel Jones, Breanna Stewart, Brenasia Laney, you have Sabrina Ionescu, and Courtney Vandersloot. So they've been playing together for 2 years. They know each other very well. One of the things that they do very well is they do rebound very well. I'm going to go through some of the stats in terms of the league so you guys can understand why I say that. They do like getting out on the break. They do. They put up a lot of 3-point shots, but their percentages are not what it was yet last year. But they're working their way up to get where they were last year. Right now, Atlanta's up 10-9 on New York with 4:13 left in the first quarter. So just to give a little update. But again, I talked about their bench. They have a lot of new players in there. You still have you still have Naira Sabali, who's a third-year player. She was drafted 3 years ago, but this would be her second year because last year technically was her rookie year. And Kayla Thompson. But then they have several new players who are trying to fit their way into the Liberty system. And once they get comfortable, they're going to be key contributors. But right now, I know coach is relying a lot on her vets. And it's early, but it's still a little concern for me. The Lynx, I mean, Diamond Miller. I've seen Diamond Miller since her middle school years because I was a substitute teacher at the middle school she was at. I used to watch her, and I knew she was destined for the WNBA. They have some very good players over there with the Lynx, and let me just double check their roster. You have Nafisa Collar. I mean, one of the elite players in the league. Natasha Heidemann. Kayla McBride, she's a killer from three, man. She's definitely a killer from three. Courtney Williams, Alana Smith. I mean, they are definitely a team that's Dorka Juhas, a 6'5" post player from UConn. They're a young team mixed with some veterans. So they're definitely a team that, you definitely want to keep an eye on. And they're number 3 in the league. The Los Angeles, I mean, what can you say about the Las Vegas Aces? They're the 2-time defending champions. I mean, Aja Wilson. I mean, you can go down the list when you think about their team. Alyssa Clark, Chelsea Gray, Megan Gustafson. I'm sorry if I messed up the name. Tiffany Hayes. Kate Martin, the rookie from Iowa, Kelsey Plum, Kia Stoke, former Liberty. I mean, Jackie Young. I mean, these women are definitely killers. They're well vested. They've been playing together for years. So they know what each other is doing. They know where each other is supposed to be. They haven't played that many games so far. And when they start getting into their rhythm, don't sleep on it. Don't be surprised if they're in the top 3 by the end of the year. The Seattle Storm, favorite players in terms of sorry about that. With the Seattle Storm, you have Skylar Diggins Smith over there. You have Jewel Lloyd. I mean, Jewel Lloyd is definitely an elite player. Nneka Omagule, I hope I keep messing up her name. Mercedes Lewis. Victoria Vivens. I watched her when they played the Liberty, and she's a young player that's developing. Sammy Whitcomb, a good player coming off the bench. So and they're developing. I mean, they just got a lot of these players, or some of these players just came in terms of Skylar, in terms of Nneka, and they're just trying to build a level of camaraderie. But as you see, they're in the 5th spot within the league. So. Again, these are some of the top players. I just want to touch on them briefly in terms of these players within the league while I keep an eye on the Liberty game. But let me just also tap into the questions that are going on in there. Chad, thanks for tapping in, man. Yeah, clap, clap, smack, smack. You know how we do, Chad. NYG, you said, how's their defense, particularly defending the 3? At times, NYG for the Liberty, There are concerns, especially when teams get into that rhythm. Teams like to move the ball against them, and then when they rotate it, there usually is an open three. So but lately they've been getting a little bit better in terms of their rotation and how they're playing it. But overall, it initially when they started, it was a concern for me. But again, it takes time. It takes you understand. It takes some time for them to get into a rhythm in terms of getting their defense. How are they going to rotate, and then also the players off of the bench. How do they fit into the rotation? So Liberty coach sounds like Tommy T, and the Knicks. So, no, she's not as. But I know what you mean. She does like rotating the bench players in. I mean, already she has three bench players in the first quarter. So I mean, she's not as she's not like Tibbs in that regard, but she's just getting used to the new players. So you have Nimar at Celtics and Mavs. Yeah, I know that's going to be on later on tonight. So I know a lot of people are going to tap in NYG Celtics or Mavs for the finals. I think the Celtics win, even though I hate them, and I got the Mavs, bro. Because I don't like the Celtics. Okay, so thanks, you guys, for that little insight. Hey, I got the Celtics in 6, so but that's just me. So, in terms of the power rankings, I haven't received any power rankings. That's what I'm looking for. But I guess if you go for the basic rankings, I mean, Connecticut has to be number 1, the Liberty number 2. If you told me the Aces were 3, I could understand it over the Lynx, but the Lynx would probably be no worse at 4. The Storm at 5, the Dream at 6, and basically, if you go down the list in terms of how they're positioned in the league, I think that's how the power rankings would be in reference to that. So, but for me, that's how I would actually have them. In terms of their power rankings. So, again, in terms of my power rankings, Connecticut is number 1, New York is number 2, the Aces are 3, the Lynx, Minnesota is number 4, Seattle's 5, Atlanta is 6, Phoenix is 7. The Sky, or I might flip the Sky and the Mercury because Chicago does, for a young team, they're feisty. They fit Coach Teaspoon's type of play. I might switch them in terms of 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to put the Sky at 7 and the Mercury at 8. The Wings, I'm going to keep them at 9 for the time being, but they have the opportunity to jump up. The Sparks are at 10, the Fever at 11, and Washington closes out at number 12. So that's how I would see them right now in terms of my thoughts in terms of the power ranking. So now the next thing I want to move on is the news that's been going on. And we know pretty much the big news. Right now, New York is up 14-10. But the big news everyone has been talking about across the country. I mean, it just that's why I started out with the game on Saturday, the Fever and Chicago, the Caitlin Clark and the Cheney Carter incident, where Carter shoulder checked Clark while she was waiting for an inbound play from Aaliyah Boston. Totally unwarranted. It was definitely at least a flagrant one. I've said it was a dirty play. One of my biggest concerns is that she came from behind to attack her, even though she did hit shoulder to shoulder. It's that you're coming from behind. But the league did what they had to do. They upgraded it from a regular foul to a flagrant one, so that's on her record going forward. I'm fine with it from there. Some people have had issues with why her teammates didn't come to her aid. But Aaliyah Boston is not an enforcer. If you've watched her game from her time at South Carolina, she's never been that type of a player in terms of being an enforcer. But I do understand those who wish he would have stepped up and, really challenged Carter in that regard. But hey, that's also that look at that's not her personality. I've had issues where people trying to make it the race thing, the in terms of sexuality, getting into the political spectrum. I spoke on that on Tuesday night on Heart of the City. I have issues with it, but the league is doing what they need to do to clean it up, and hopefully, it'll settle in and settle down, and we will move forward. But the one thing I do want to talk about is yesterday, Chicago pulled up to, I believe it was in Washington, that they're playing their next game. Let me just double check. I believe, yeah, it's in Washington. There was an incident where Chicago's bus pulled up to their hotel, and the players weren't even able to get off the bus because some gentleman, quote unquote, really tried to either get on the bus or try to accost the players, specifically Kennedy Carter, in reference to what was going on. There were statements that he was using cameras or whatever the case may be, and he was harassing the women, even saying sexist and making racial comments. I have the issue now. I chastise Carter for her action on the court, and that's my point. This has nothing to do. You have no business, whoever you are, doing like that. And while Chicago did not call the police, I wish they would have. And the league is supposedly trying to look into it and doing their investigation. Maybe later on, if they know who it is, charges can be brought forth. But we need to make sure things like this does not happen. Good thing Chicago said, and you can go on Twitter. Angel Reeves has tweeted it. Several of the women on the team have tweeted it, that they have their own security force and they help de-escalate it. So kudos to their security force. But and I'm happy to hear that. But you know what? When are we going to stop really? What happens on the court or in the field of play on any sport? When are we going to stop trying to personalize it? Because as athletes, yeah, we tend to, for the most part, leaving what happens on the court or on the field there. We always say, leave it between the white lines, when you walk off the field or when you walk off the court, but as fans, you get so consumed and so involved that you cross the line. And this gentleman crossed the line for me. And, just like I criticized Carter, I'm criticizing this guy and I'm defending her. No matter if you don't like her actions on the court, speak out about it, but don't cross that line, because she is still a human being and she has the right to feeling safe in her work environment, no matter what. And I'm hopeful that if the league investigates and they find out that they can bring charges against this gentleman, then I hope that that's what they do, because it's uncalled for. It's really, really uncalled for. So let me just jump into the chat real quick. I know I asked this question, but a lot. But does Camilla? Yeah, she did return. She's already played, I think, 2 games so far. So yeah, she's back. She's still getting acclimated. She did play against the Liberty. She's slowly getting back. Getting her win back into the flow of the game. Carter did nothing wrong, in my opinion. Was a dirty play, yeah, but sure. But dirty plays happen all the time in any sport. I don't see why people in the media a big thing now. Caitlin Clark isn't the only player. No, yeah, it's a dirty play. You can't. But Damian, for me, I can't say she didn't do anything wrong because it's a dirty play. Because what happens if with that check, Clark was injured? Because as an athlete, you prepare yourself for it. So you even if you brace yourself, and if, as you see with the inbounds, the defender does lean on. And how many times have we ever seen the ball handler slightly push off to get a little separation to get the ball? They're prepared for it. They're ready for it. So Carter, for her, number one, she came from behind. So, Clark really didn't see her. So she came from behind and then she shoulder checked her. That's a dirty play. So to say she didn't do anything wrong, for me, that's wrong. That's not a basketball play. So I'm sorry. That's where she crossed the line in that regard. So I understand that's her Chenny had spoken about it, that's how she is. She struggles with that because she's very passionate and she's a fiery person whenever she plays. So, but that right there, the play in itself crossed the line. That's not a basketball play. Her teammates are still learning her. She's a rookie. Most rookies don't get that type of respect from the jump. It takes time to build chemistry. It doesn't help that it doesn't help that they've been losing too. No, you're right. Number one, she's been getting a lot of attention. I mean, she's being guarded literally from baseline to baseline. So, and most, rookies do not get that, but the players in the league see her ability. And if she is not a player who has, good abilities, they're not gonna defend her like that. So, that's a sign of respect to a certain extent, and that's how I take it. So in the WNBA, in the WA, that are making a difference, like Angel Reese said, there are others busting their butt off every day. It's not just one. No, I understand that the media, they take things into that regard, and they take it and they ramp it up. And that's any sport. It's not just the WNBA. That's the NBA. That's the NFL. That's Major League Baseball. That's sports in general. So I get what you're saying, Damien. And here, if we focus it, yes, they are putting too much attention on Caitlin Clark per se, but most of the fans, which is why the media is doing this, the fans are following them. They're following her. The WNBA has not seen the level of attention from fans, which is why, in a sense, she's your moneymaker. So you got to market and you got to utilize, you got to market and take advantage of her in that regard. So, again, but yes, they need to do a good job of marketing everyone, and I think they will as the season continues on. So, um, sorry about that. That's my aide before y'all, if y'all are wondering. So, Raf, I think Luka is dangerous. I could see him taking over games. He's a tough guard for Boston's defense. So is Kyrie. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but again, that's some of the news that I wanted to touch base on right now. The Caitlin Clarks. Now, in terms of the games, of course, I'm always going to talk about the Liberty right now. As a matter of fact, Atlanta just tied it up with New York. But in terms of the Liberty's game right now, of course, I can't go past this one, but they have the big game come Saturday. They're going to Connecticut and they're playing the Connecticut Sun Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. So that's going to be nationally televised on ABC. So it's a big game. Connecticut right now is 9-0. They have been also. Saturday will be their next game, and New York right now is playing Atlanta. So it's going to be a big game, especially for the top two teams in the league. So, but again, that's a big one. And then next Saturday, I mean, I know it's ahead of time, and we have another show, but next Saturday they also go to Las Vegas to play the Aces. So, right now it's the games are going to be stepping up for New York going forward. So, in terms of the full league spectrum, in terms of where scores, tomorrow you have, let's see, Seattle going to Las Vegas. That's going to be a very interesting one. I just told you about Saturday. You also have Atlanta at Chicago. There's two games on Saturday. So, both games you can say are games that are going to be of interest. Sunday, you have Seattle at Minnesota. Las Vegas at the Los Angeles Sparks might be a little interesting, but I can also see it getting out of hand from there. And next Tuesday, you have Minnesota. Oops, sorry about that. Those are some of the games that I'm interested in. I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I'm excited, with several of those games right there. So, but what about you guys with some of those games that I just spoke about? Which ones are you guys interested? I was speaking with Mr. Clark's teammates with my last comment. Okay, not her opponents. Got you, bro. Got you. I understand. That's fair. But what about the games that I just mentioned? Which ones are you interested? Are you interested in seeing? Um, are you interested in seeing Vegas? What about Connecticut and the Liberty on Saturday? Are you interested in that? Let me know in the chat. So, um, going for is that. Now I'm going to look into some of the league stat leaders. That's some of the things that we talked about in pre-game preparation. In terms of, let's see, I'm looking for the stats. All right, now I'm actually on WNBA. I'm on the app right now. So in terms of in overall points, Aja Wilson is leading the league at 27-9. Arike Umbawale is at 27-1. Kalia Copper from the Phoenix Mercury is at 22-5. Nafisa Collar from Minnesota is at 21-8. Dearica Hemby is at 24, 20 points, 20.4 points per game. Jackie Young for the Las Vegas Aces also at 20.4. Brianna Stewart is at 7 at 19.4. Jewel Lloyd is at 19.2. Dewana Bonner is at 19.1. Kelsey Plum is at 18.9. So those are your top 10 in scoring within the league right there. Some definitely good heavy hitters. Let me see. As far as rookies, Caitlin Clark is leading all rookies in score at 15.6, and she's ranked at number 18 in the league. So if anybody was going to ask me, I just wanted to make sure I get that out there for you. So what's good, man cave? Thanks for tapping in. What's good, coach? What's up, fellas? Smash that like button, subscribe, and share on all your social media platforms. Salute NYG. What's good, cave? All right. In terms of rebounds, you have Aja Wilson, who's leading the league, and she is leading with, I just had rebounds, sorry. She's at 12-4. Dearica Hemby at 11-6. Fowler at 11. Brianna Stewart at 4 at 9-8. Tina Charles at 9-6. Alyssa Thomas from Connecticut at 9-3. Angel Reese with 9 rebounds per game. And it's refreshing on me. Sorry about that. John Quill Jones also at 9 rebounds. Tierra McCowan, that's who I was thinking about from the Dallas Wings. She's 9 rebounds per game. And Izzy Megabor from Seattle is at 8-7 rebounds per game. So they're definitely doing a good job in terms of getting after the rebounds. In terms of assists per game, you have Alyssa Thomas from Connecticut leading the league at 8.8 assists per game. Jackie Young at 7.6. Now Natasha Cloud at 7.4 is with Phoenix. Caitlin Clark is in the 4th spot at 6.4. Skylar Diggins Smith is at 5.9. Courtney Williams is at 5.6. Julie Van Loo, she's with the Mystics, okay, and she is 5'6", 5.6 assists per game. Courtney Vandersloot from Liberty at 5'3", Sabrina Ionescu at 5'3", and Kelsey Plum is also at 5'3" in terms of assists per game. So those are some key metrics right there. And let me see, 3-pointers. I know you talked about 3-pointers, NYG. In terms of 3-pointers, is this percentage? This is season leaders 3 points made, 3 point percentage. I'm looking at percentage. Okay. Alicia Gray leads the league at 54.1 free 3 pointers per game. Alana Smith is at 50%. De'Erica Hamby is at 50%. Nalisa Smith is at 47.1. Kayla McBride is at 45.9. Um, Rika Jackson, is a rookie from the Sparks. She's at 43.8. Cecily Zendelensky is at 43.5. Uh, Taisha Harris is at 41. Steph Dawson is at 40.5. And Alicia Clark and Victoria Vivens are both tied at 40% in terms of 3 point percentage. Now, that's percentage. So that's what I just wanted to touch on. Overall field goal percentage within the league. And you have Neka NECA from Seattle is at 64%. Brianna Jones from Connecticut is at 63.4. Temi Fenbengley from Seattle is at 56.9. Tiara McCowan is at 56%. De'Erica Hamby is at 54.7. Jonquel Jones is at 54.2. Maddie Segrist is at 53.5. Nalisa Smith is at 52.5. Monique Billings at 52.1, and Kennedy Carter's at 51.8. The top, if you go down the top at the top of the league, those are all low post players, which is why they're in the high to mid 50s. So they're close to the basket, which is why their numbers are up there in terms of their field goal percentage. So let's take a look here. I watch Alyssa Thomas play a few games. She's definitely one of the best players in the league, no doubt. You think UConn is the biggest threat to the Liberty? Yes. Right now in the East and in the league, yes. The way they're playing, and Alyssa Thomas is a triple-double machine. So she's definitely one of the top players, and she's definitely a problem. So yeah, just call her Mecca. Well, Chanae said her name is NECA. She said the easiest thing. She said, I'm Chanae. She's NECA. So I'm messing up the last name. So just give me 1 second. It's something I have to do real quick. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. I had to address something momentarily. But yeah, that's her name. So, and I'm going to leave it right there because I'm not good with, some names. So, it's interesting. So, one of the other things we wanted to tap on is the future of the league in terms of expansion. Because for those of you who don't know, within the next 2 years, the league is going to be expanding. So, next year, there's going to be a team in Golden State. So they've already secured their franchise. So we're going to be having 13 teams next year. And then the following year in 2026, there's going to be a team up in Toronto. So that's going to push us to 16 teams. So the expansion opportunities is growing, which is another reason why we need plenty of fan support, fans in the stands, and also the TV opportunities. So New York right now just hit a 3, and they're up 30-25 with 3:25 in the second quarter. But I'm really happy to see that, and I'm excited about it. Because that's a good growth within the WNBA. It also creates other opportunities for players within the league. So I mean, there's a ruling you have anywhere, depending on your salaries, your top level salaries, 11 to 13 players on your roster. So but that also allows young ladies here in the States, or if you're bringing over players from international, outlets, that allows them to have opportunities to play here in the United States. So and that's something that I've been wanting to see for a while now. So but um again, I'm excited for it. It opens up great opportunities, and it creates the opportunity for more games in terms of the WNBA. Man cave, nothing much. Knicks, I want Celtics to lose and Mavs win. Who you got tonight, bro? Oh, okay. Man cave be doing a live stream for game one. I want to see the Liberty on Saturday. Okay. And I think the Mavs going to steal game one. And Curry goes off. And I really wish Knicks were still in it, but then would have been great. But I just watched the series. Don't care for Boston either. Okay. Sorry, MYG. Virginia needs a sports team badly. Hey, hey, if you guys Virginia can get the support and have them make a push to the league office, who knows? That's an opportunity. Now, you might get the counter of, you have a team right there in Washington, in Washington, D.C. with the Mystics. So, you might face that. Now, in Southern Virginia, maybe closer towards North Carolina, you might get the argument there. Just like you can get an argument for Philly and Boston. What about Chicago? I'm just happy that we're seeing growth. That's the whole thing, to get up to 16 teams right now, because there was a point in time it was growing and then they lost teams. I mean, one of the great dynasties in the WNBA, the Houston Comets, man, with the championships that they won there, but the team goes away, so Detroit had a team and won a championship up there, and they can definitely get one there. Man Cave says the Mystics play for the DMV area. Yeah, put a sports team in Mexico. I mean, we have Canada sports teams already. Why not Mexico? Right now, I can't speak to that, Damien, because the only thing I can say is you don't have one in the other professional sports. So, in terms of the NBA, it looks like they're targeting cities that already have an NBA team. So, that's the only thing I can think of right now. Commanders and the Commanders, the Commandos, the whatever you call them, playing the DMV area. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. So, but in terms of the WNBA, the expansion opportunities, the growth potential is there. And if you really think about it, that's why this rookie class is so important, because of the audience that is drawn in. Say what you want about Caitlin Clark, but a lot of people are following her. Now, Indiana has started out the season playing a lot of games, literally back to back to back. They played the most games to start the season, but that's because fans want to see Caitlin Clark, and the league is marketing. They're in a sense their moneymaker. Now, I'm not discrediting the vets there, but what I'm saying is the casual fans have been following Caitlin Clark, so that's why. If you look at the numbers, because she's playing, the casual fans have been following her. So that's what I mean by, in terms of marketing, your moneymaker. And if you continue to do that, now she's going to have to start producing. Hopefully by the end of the season, once she gets over the rookie hump, she can start, consistently, producing. I mean, her scoring is there and her assists there. Her turnovers are a big issue. But, once she settles down and settles in and plays a good game and her team starts to win, you'll draw more fans in to watch her. I mean, the girl can shoot. I'm sorry. You say what you want about her. Her game is definitely up there, man. And it's kind of like it's kind of like Steph in terms of the range that she has. So it's an exciting thing in terms of the fan interest, which can also grow for other opportunities for other players, which is why I say, to the players in the league. Yeah, you challenge her, you compete with her, you get physical with her, but you also want her because that gives you opportunity and gives other ladies in the league opportunities for job opportunities. So I always say it's a double-edged sword, but it's a great double-edged sword if you really break it down. So expanding next 2 years. So I touched on pretty much everything this week. First thing, I've already talked to you guys. But again, that's some of the things that we talked about in terms of our pre-production meeting and our pre-production notes. So I've been trying to move the that's like dropping your child on need VA. No, I feel you. Hey, NYG, do a rebirth of the Virginia Squires from the old ABA. You never know. So what I don't get is how she's getting all the spotlight, but the team still. Well, again, Damien, why is she getting the spotlight? I don't know if I clearly explained it, so I'm going to try it this way. Okay, you may feel this way about her, but if you have 10 other people, not in terms of in association with the leagues, but just average people on the street who want to see Caitlin Clark play, that's supply and demand. That's supply and demand. That's basic business, Damien. That's what it is. All right. It's just like, hey, if you have two fast food restaurants making a burger, and you like this burger over here, but you have 100 people that like this burger over there. Guess what? Guess what? Any business is going to say, we're going with this. You may not like it because you like this burger, but everyone else is liking this. Same thing with Caitlin Clark. I hope that helps you understand. So Dame is on crack again. Popping in the show. Hey, Blaze, my brother from another Playboy. Yo, great man, great DJ. Go check him out. Does a lot of great things. Definitely he and I talk hip hop. Yo, this man knows his hip hops. Former DJ, so love him to death. So Damien and I didn't say it. I didn't say that. So that would be dope, Coach. Yeah, you're talking about. I know Damien doesn't even know basic. Okay. So the most populated city in Virginia is Virginia. So they would have to draw a couple of pro sports teams there. So I remember minor league football. We actually played it was a stadium there in Virginia Beach. So, what other questions do you guys have in reference to the WNBA? I've gone over the stats. Going over to some of the games that are coming up. Top of the key players. Oh, in terms of the rookies, someone asked me about the rookies who I'm interested in. Now, I know they did release a power rankings. Let me pull that up. I had that on Twitter. The WNBA power rankings. Who was WNBA? Okay, so the rookies, the power rankings for the rookies. Let me find that. Where was it? NYG, you can also go on the WNBA's Twitter page. They showed your girl Cardosa getting off a good assist. And where was it? I know, if I remember correctly, Cameron Brink was number one. Oh, one of the things I did not talk about, and I do apologize. First of all, I'll get to the rookies in a second. There was a groundbreaking accomplishment that happened last night, I believe, and it's by Aja Wilson. She was the first player in WNBA history to record 35 plus points, 10 rebounds, and 5 steals in the WNBA game. No other player has in the history has ever done that since 1997. So think about that. And there have been some great players to come through the WNBA, and she's the first one to do it. So kudos to her for that accomplishment. That just speaks to her game and what she has. Kudos to the Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeves. She's the second all time with wins at 307 wins. So kudos to her for that. I mean, you're seeing the league expand, and you're seeing some great accomplishments this year, which is really exciting. Which is why I'm excited about this league and what it has to bring. I mean, like I said, I've been following it since day one. And all the great women that have come through the WNBA. Where did that? So, but again, that's really exciting for me to watch something, watch these players and coaches, achieve these accomplishments, and I'm looking forward for more. I'm looking for um, um, more. WNBA also reported yesterday for the Olympics. You have USA basketball 3-on-3. So that's something exciting to that we're going to be seeing. I know Cameron Brink is on one. Van Lith is on also on there. Haley Van Lith, who was at LSU, and she transferred. I think she went to. Did she go to Stanford? I forgot where she transferred to. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's another opportunity to highlight the women in women's basketball, but also try and get another gold medal in basketball for the United States. USA, USA. So, um, I cannot find that rookie listing. If any of you know of the listing, because I can't find it on the WNBA's Twitter page, please read between the lines. And thanks, Dane. You're welcome. Angel Reese has definitely been balling. She's like the Mitchell Robinson of the WNBA in terms of offensive rebound. Yeah, she is. She's a beast of a rebounder. Audra Wilson is a freaking beast, hands down the best player in the WNBA. Right now, it's hard for me to say anyone else. The only one right now who I could say that I think might compete is Alyssa Thomas. If she stays consistent with her triple doubles. Now I had said with Brianna with the last game when she took over, if she plays like that on a consistent basis, then she's going to be back in the conversation. I know some people may not want to hear that, but hey, I mean she's definitely one to be respected when she plays at that level. And that's the thing. I mean, she had 30 plus points and 10 plus rebounds. I think she was 33 and 14 in the last game. So, but she needs to play like that on a regular basis. It's not there. Let me see if I can find it here on CBS, WNBA. And no, I don't have it there. The last one I'm going to go to is Bleacher Report. And go to the W. And Newskew, they're talking about right now, the games right now. Injuries. I did not know Angel Reese has her own custom Reeboks right now. She just had them in reference to repping Maryland, her home state. So, hey, that's something that's interesting, and I love seeing that these women are getting their own shoe deal. It's on the okay. Thank you, Man Cave. It's on the CBS. Sorry, the ESPN. So let me run to ESPN real quick because I wanted to talk about that. And not this phone. Sorry. Let me switch to my other phone. ESPN, ESPN, ESPN. And I'm looking for the WNBA and rookie rankings. Here we go. Okay. I have to log into my plus. Sorry about that. I think this Coach A. Gladney. All right, I'm just going to do it on my computer. I'm not dealing with the phones today. ESPN.com. I know Cameron Brink is number one on in terms of the rookie positionings right now. So, and well deserved. She's doing her thing in terms of playing this game. So, definitely appreciate her game. For those of you, if you want to check her out, I mean, you may say, oh, she's skinny, but the girl can play some basketball. 6'4", good size, great athleticism, fundamentally sound. Out of Stanford, she's definitely she has a high IQ in terms of her, basketball play. But hey, you come from Stanford, you better have that high IQ. So I gotta check what happened to Nick. Okay, I'm not getting into my account. I'm not going to get frustrated. I just know Brink is number one. And Man Cave, if you got the rankings, put it out there for me because I can't get into it to my Plus account for some reason. I don't know why. So I wish Cardosa didn't get hurt. I like her potential. Yeah, she has some great potential. So Brink Reese, Kate Martin with the aces, Rakia Jackson, Julia Van Loo from DC, and Caitlin Clark. Those are your top ones right now. Thank you, Man Cave. I really appreciate that. Now that can change as the season goes along. And we'll be watching that. I'm going to do make sure I have that down pat going forward. But shout out to all the 10 that are in here right now. Really appreciate everyone. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network. Coach A. Gladney's Amazing World of Sport and Sleeper Sports Network. Make sure you subscribe to each YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification, and share on all your social media platforms. Also, Next Shift Randy, we're going to continue to bring you more and more WNBA. Hey, this is the first one, yeah, we always, with the first one, you always got to work out the kinks. My co-hosts, they've had, they have things outside of this that they have to take care of. We all have lives outside of this. We do this for free. It's not like we're getting paid for this. So, there may be times, hey, they're going to cover for me. We're a team, and that's what we're about, and that's how I look at this. And that's why I wanted to bring this to you today. It was, and I appreciate you guys rocking with me. So. And I know everyone's going to be probably transitioning over to the NBA soon. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and throw it in the chat, and I'll try and answer it before I close this out. Next week, we're going to be on Thursday. It might be 7:00. It might have to move up an hour. That's what we're working out right now to see what's best for the program. And best for you guys to, come out and share and help this thing grow and talk about basketball, especially the WNBA, and help us grow this women's game. So, if you're looking to follow me, Saturday, I'll also be doing the halftime coaching adjustment show with my co-host, Philly halftime. We give you the perspective of two old farts. We talk about sports, but we also talk about life. It's not just about sports. We give you everything. Last week we were just talking about movies. The week before that we were talking about technology from when we were younger, in our younger ages compared to today. So we're going to talk about family life. We're going to talk about life, love, whatever the case may be. So it's not just always going to be about sports. We're also going to be bringing on other content creators. This week, we're actually going to have Next Shift Randy. We're going to be bringing him on, and he's going to be part of the show. And we're going to expand it to other content creators. So we have others in mind. Sunday, I'll be doing part of. Saturday evening, I'm actually going to be streaming indoor arena style football, the Jersey Bearcats versus the Maryland Warriors. So I'm excited about bringing that action to this medium. Sunday, I'll be doing Giants Conversations with my man NYG22. And then Tuesday, we also have Heart of the City. Wednesday, I'll be on with the Pick and Roll podcast on Wednesday, and then another Thursday action. So it's going to be pretty busy for me. Just trying to stay out there, bring you some new content at all times. If any of you want to talk to me and say, hey, coach, what about this? Hit me on Twitter. You can reach me on my Twitter page. And let me close this out. There's my Twitter page, Skies Papa 22. You can also hit me on Instagram. On Instagram, it's Don't Sweat the Technique. Just like I said, don't sweat the DA technique. Yes, that's my homage to one of my all-time great MC, Rakim. So, but yeah, you can see me, hit me there. You can hit me everywhere. You can look for me on what's the other social media platform? TikTok, Facebook. You can hit me on. You can look for me on Ed Mel. That's MELL Gladney. I'm there on Facebook. So been there for years. That's probably my biggest medium. So, but again, I'm all over the place. So how's everyone doing tonight? On the live stream. We're all doing great, Charles. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, man. So thanks for tapping in. Charles, I really respect him. He's always followed me around. Great, gives me great support. So, and I really appreciate him. So let me see if I can give you a quick score update in terms of, let me go through. Yeah, let me just pull that up. Not just the Liberty, so all of them. So in terms of the WNBA, games, home, and home, and the current scores. Looks like Chicago beat Washington. Either are they winning 60-54? Let me go here. I'm so used to this here. Yeah, they're in the fourth quarter, 60-54, and of course, New York is up 38-32 in the third quarter right now. So actually, now it's 40-32, and Atlanta with the deep three and rebound by Sabrina Ionescu. So without commitment. That's a great statement. I love that, Charles. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, but again, I'm Coach Ed Gladney. I really appreciate everyone for being here. This is the full court press WNBA action. Yes, we touch on a little bit of other basketball action, talking just a touch about the NBA because you have the finals starting right now tonight. So I know everyone's going to be transitioning over there. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Again, I really appreciate you all for rocking with me, being patient with us, as we started a little bit late, but rocking with me as I go solo right now. But hey, I'm a teammate. I'm a team player. That's the one thing about me. And we covered a lot of great stuff. You guys were phenomenal. I really appreciate you all. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for, oops, somebody just popped something in as I was closing out. Until the next stream, peace and blessings, favorite. Thank you, Charles. I really appreciate that. Peace and blessings to you and your family. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for tapping in, and I hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you at the next stream. Peace.